How's it going, my fellow Chibits? Today is going to be a review on RWBY Volume 2, Episode 10. Now, this episode, I just want to tell you right freaking now, I love the direction the way RWBY is taking. As I said before, in the entirety of pretty much Volume 2 of RWBY, Rooster Teeth is taking the time to give character development. Once again, in this episode, we get more character development on our three characters, Weiss, Blake, and Yang. We get some character development with them, and it really overall makes me respect, once again, Rooster Teeth for making this series. Now, in this episode, there was a couple things that were overall shocking. RWBY's weapon is revealed in this episode. For the first time, we get to see his weapon, and we see what it exactly looks like. So, that was a really shocking reveal. It looks like he's fucking serious, and that he's about to go kick some ass down in that cavern at the end of this episode. And then, we have Blake talk about Adam in this episode, in this season. So, there's the different things that happen in this episode. But the big thing I want to talk about is the different conversation that RWBY talked about in this episode. For instance, in the entire conversation about that cavern that RWBY fell in, okay? It looked like comedy the way he was discussing it, but then he said that there was an explosion in that cavern, the village, underground village that these people made to seek refuge from the Grimm. They made this underground village. And when they were down there, the explosion took place, blew up another cavern, and there was a bunch of Grimm infested in that cavern that came and wiped out that village. So, from what we can understand from the ending part of this episode is that there's supposedly Grimm down underground. Now, we don't necessarily know why there was Grimm in this cavern, but we have to expect this, okay? Last episode, it was revealed that Grimm are not insane. They're not all insane or crazy or bloodthirsty. There was some Grimm that's lived for a long time and have intelligence. So, what is stopping those Grimm that was in the cavern, locked away for a long time, actually having some form of intelligence? It's possible they could. The big question we gotta get at is, where did those Grimm go if they were in that cavern? Like, we now know that the White Fang is down in that cavern with RWBY, because RWBY's been captured. You have her being drug off to Torchwick at the end of this episode, and he's like, oh, that is not a good thing. Love that. That's pretty funny. But still, I mean, what happened to the Grimm that was down there? Did they escape? Did they get killed off? That's the big question we have to wonder right now. Either way, the episode definitely sets up some crazy things. And also, once again, we have talk about how our characters are no longer children. For instance, we have Yang, Blake, and Weiss talk how they're no longer children. Since they're off in the middle of a war zone fighting and killing Grimm and stuff, they're technically no longer could be considered children. But then they bring up the entire matter with RWBY, you know, how she technically is 2 years younger. And it made me start thinking about last episode. Now, last episode, as we saw, all our characters had the big question brought up to them by RWBY. He brought up and saying, like, okay, why do you want to be a huntress? Why do you want to? What is your motive? What is your goal? And we all know that he did not ask RWBY. He specifically did not ask RWBY. I think there's a reason for that, actually. This is just me theory crafting. Okay, so RWBY is technically younger than Yang, Blake, and Weiss by 2 years. So technically, if there's anyone that's a child in this series, it would definitely be RWBY. She's the youngest. And so, technically, the way she spoke, she was talking about physical things, or in a different matter, she was just taking things at face value from what we can see in the last episode when she was talking to RWBY. And maybe the reason why RWBY did not ask her why she wanted to be a huntress is mainly because she is too young, she's too naive, and she really doesn't understand the importance of philosophy and why you want to be, you know, like a huntress. She doesn't really understand that at the moment, and maybe that's why he did not ask that big question about RWBY, you know, last episode. Now, that's just me theory crafting. I could be completely wrong. I mean, you could take it in different directions. I mean, you could take it as if RWBY already has a dream. She knows what she wants to be a huntress, and RWBY already knew that. But I'm taking it as the entire bit that RWBY realized that she was not mature at the moment, and he didn't really need to talk about that entire conversation yet. Now, with this, one thing I will say, RWBY did smile while you saw our gang talking around the campfire. You saw him smile like they matured some, so you can clearly see he's liking where the group is going and how they're developing as people. So that was some awesome atmosphere and mood right in that part of this episode. Now, lack of action this week, I want to be honest, there was lack of action pretty much majority of this entire episode, and honestly, not all RWBY episodes need to have action to be badass. They don't. But of course, this is the Rooster Teeth, and they usually have action in their series, but they do need some exposition sometimes, and they do need some character development stuff. So I'm really happy they're taking this season very slow, and they're really just, you know, developing the characters. Speaking of which, I want to talk about something. Okay, as we know, RWBY is already on its 10th episode. RWBY Volume 2, Episode 10 It's already on episode 10 of season 2. And we have to think about this, like, how many episodes is RWBY Volume 2 going to be? Is it going to be 20-something episodes? 12 episodes? I mean, we have to think about this right now, because if we think about the majority of this season, in terms of actual real plot progression, what have we had besides foreshadowing of war and how our characters are no longer children? That's really the major thing that's going on, set up for war and stuff like that. So, honestly, I highly doubt this series is going to end, like, on episode 12, like, for instance, Volume 2 will. I think it'll go up around in the 20s. I'm going to just say that right now. The way it's looking, the way the pacing is, I feel like we're going to have some big battles and some big revelations in the season, and then it's going to leave us on a cliffhanger for the next season. Usually, when you're in a series at this point, in a series like episode 10 or so, usually you have something that's already going down, and it's already freaking fist or pump, you're like, holy shit, and everything just feels like pedal to the metal. Usually when you're watching a series that's already at the 10th episode, but it's not like that yet. So, I'm willing to bet in a couple episodes we're going to have something very explosive that's going to shock us and make the overall mood of the season 2 just kick up into high gear. Now, the animation, the CGI and stuff of this episode, honestly, it looked fine. The only thing I really felt was a little bit off or weird was the entire bit when we saw RWBY juggling her weapon. Not just right there, it looked a little bit off to me, it just did not look right. It looked way too, I guess, cartoonish compared to the style that RWBY usually has. But either way, there's nothing much to complain about. I felt like the episode was a decent episode, and I love it. And like I said, with this entire season, it's been nothing but foreshadow for war and how our characters are no longer children. So, yeah, next season is definitely confirmed for a massive fucking war. Probably with Grimm, Intelligent Grimm. I'm willing to bet it right now. Tell me your thoughts in the comments below. How'd you feel about this episode of RWBY Volume 2? Did you enjoy it? Did you hate it? What was your favorite moments about it? I love you all so much. Please be safe. Chibi out.